My car's doing this new thing now where whenever I fill up the gas, it like triggers the fuel sensor. So for the first like 20 miles, my car thinks it's out of gas and it starts being like, oh my god, you're out of gas. And I'm like, I'm not, I just filled up. And then it eventually goes, oh my god, never mind. And then it like goes back up. And I'm just like, hello? The one time it did that and my check engine light went on and I was like, can you not right now? I looked it up and people online said it's fine.
Okay.
They're like, you could replace the fuel sensor, but it only works like 50% of the time. So I was like, well, okay, I'll keep driving then. Fun stuff.
I'm concerned. Also,
yeah, it probably should be.
Papa? I thought he knew that when I had children.
Aren't you learning so many things? Who made this 1 star?
A peasant.
All right. Before we answer your questions, it's time for Struggle of the Fool.
There's so many fools, though.
Yeah. Anyway, already.
Yes.
All right. Welcome back. We're talking about Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Episode 29, Struggle of the Fool. These fools be struggling.
Yeah, because like right now they're kind of like, everybody's aware that everybody knows everything.
Yeah.
So like, and
all bets are off now.
And that a lot of people, and like, I guess like I'm kind of like, because you know like basically all the upper military is like aware of, I don't know like if they're aware that like everybody knows.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I guess I wonder if because like they know like they know they can't kill Ed and now like a few other people now, but like so like it's kind of just like why I'm kind of want to keep them under their. I'm like okay, I'm like processing stuff. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's get started with a synopsis, and we will go from there. So as we recall last time, Elric brothers ass is handed to him.
Yeah.
Like they made a new enemy. Fantastic. Their alchemy wasn't working, and they're kind of at the mercy of Father and the other homunculi.
Where are we going?
He said to meet Wrath. So, that's not gonna be fun.
Where are you taking us? Just get in.
Okay.
Why?
They don't really have much of a choice.
Do we? Not. I guess we don't have
alchemy.
alchemy.
They did get their asses handed to them.
We don't have alchemy right now.
Yeah.
But they can't kill him yet.
This looks like
a job for me. So everybody.
Central Command.
What?
We were right below it.
Yeah.
Hey.
So they just kind of have to go along. The only thing that they can guarantee is that they know that, or at least something that's very highly likely, is that their lives are going to be intact. So they just kind of have to go along.
So for the time being, they have a fair amount of plot armor.
Yes, exactly. And they're just kind of like writing that out. So they are going to kind of leave this area, and Envy says that they're going to take them up to meet Wrath.
Hey! Wrath will take over babysitting you now. Right this way.
I don't think he wants to be a babysitter.
Yeah.
Hello! This is fine.
Have you met Wrath before?
King Bradley? Colonel? What's going on?
Where should I begin?
Nothing good.
Fury's been shipped south. Fallman's been sent up north. And Breda's been reassigned to the west. Lieutenant Hawkeye is now a personal assistant to the Fuhrer.
At this point, the brothers actually don't know who Wrath
Yeah, that was
is.
saying it's like it's another shock. Like, and we're like, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, so now more people are being brought in. So they knew, like, Bradley was a homunculus, but they didn't actually know, like, you know, what his title within the Seven Deadly Sins was.
Yeah.
And so all they do is, like, go out the doors and take the elevator up, and they are in the heart of Central Command. So which we kind of understood already, but it's really just hammering home the fact that the, like, homunculi, Father and the homunculi, and the Amestrian military and government are really just interlinked. They're like one and the same, really, because the bad guys' headquarters is right under the military. So,
which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Clearly, when you have a government that doesn't really want to help people.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And so they go and they meet. Oh, before they go to meet Wrath, Envy's like, "You're nasty. Go take a shower." So this gives the brothers just a chance to kind of decompress and kind of talk through what they've been through while they've been separated.
They've been there this whole time. I never would have guessed they were beneath the command center.
So maybe it's not just the Fuhrer.
The entire military might be involved.
Except for Mustang and his buddies.
Hey, there is some good news in all of this.
You saw it? My body's still in there?
It is. I tried to reach out for it, but it said that it couldn't go with me, since I wasn't its soul.
My body.
It's waiting
It still
for you.
exists. Yes. Yes.
It's doing great.
And now that we know it's there, we're one step closer to getting it back.
So Ed's like, hey, buddy.
He's like, hey, good news.
But yeah, it's good news.
Found your body.
Hooray.
So we can get that back some point. We just got to figure out how.
And you need to get it, and I can't get it.
Yeah, so, you know, they're up to date on that. They also realize...
Al? What's that weird little cat doing in here?
Well, you know that little girl?
Are you serious? She's inside your armor?
Brother, stop yelling. And while you're at it, will you put on some pants?
Hey, what's the holdup? Get a move on.
So where's Scar?
escaped and left the girl with them.
Fair? This is gonna be fine, isn't it?
I guess that's when he like took the head and threw it. And he just like put the girl in and then got the hell out. That we see Xiao Mei, which is interesting because we thought that her and Mei Chang were reunited. And all of a sudden Al is back to having the panda again. But then it actually turns out that it's not just Xiao Mei, it is Mei Chang as well. Because what happened, we can put this together ourselves, is that when Scar was like, alright, I gotta get out of here, and basically blew things up, put up a bunch of smoke, using Al's head, he used Al, having a hole in his body to shove the girl and the panda in there and then run. So Scar's on his own right now. He did not take the girl and run. He left the girl with Dalrex.
Probably smart.
Which is smart. It's like half a jerk move and half really smart.
Well, I think I
he just kind of like he's like, your problem.
But we also gotta find out what Scar was doing. So
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
Also, probably because if Scar understood that if Dalrex have plot armor and they're nice enough people, so they probably will help her. Yes, Al now has a child inside of his armor. Which is very funny because Ed is like naked while they're having this conversation. It's like, so he should get dressed. But once they are all kind of clear on that, they go to meet Wrath, and we get the reveal here that Wrath is Fear King Bradley.
Well, the reveal to them.
The reveal to them.
We've known for a while.
We've been new, and so yes, and Mustang is here as well. And now we get to have a very tense conversation about what all of this means.
When you came to visit me, you really had us going, didn't you?
I don't recall lying. I instructed you to suspect everyone, and not to meddle any further.
Fair.
That's true.
The
He
only
did
thing
let
that
you know.
Need to know is that you're important to us, and there's no need for you to dig any deeper. Accept the importance of your role and keep your heads down. You do that, and no harm will come to you.
Totally.
Well, that's great for us. But what happens to all the people who aren't lucky enough to be considered sacrifices?
There's nothing you need to know
It's
that
like,
I
I don't
haven't
give a
already
shit.
told you.
Because we're in a very interesting position, because now people know things that only a few people are supposed to know. For example,
I do love how immediately Ed wasn't like, Mustang, you're on their side too.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no.
No, he's smart. He knows kind of, because they were together when they got the information that King Bradley was homunculus. Maybe, possibly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, not allegedly. Now.
Yes, so they kind of have a conversation there, and they also so they are in a closed room with no guards, and it's just Bradley and these three other guys here, and they're all kind of thinking simultaneously. He knows he thinks he can take us all simultaneously. He is so confident that this isn't going to turn into a fight. So they know that they can't pull anything here because they're screwed. So they kind of have no choice but to, this kind of mutually assured destruction thing they have going on is they just have to sit and listen to what's going on. Mm-hmm. And so basically Wrath is like, hey.
What was that lovely young girl's name again? Ah, yes. It's Winry Rockbell.
Damn it!
Yep.
Your automail engineer.
You son of a
And
bitch.
You grew up with her in Risenbool as well, if I'm not mistaken. She's practically a family member, isn't she?
Yeah.
I've heard that she's made quite a name for herself with her customers in Rush Valley. Such a sweet and trusting girl.
You stay away from her! Just leave her out of this!
Oh, for Mustang.
Mustang's like,
That's up
don't
to
ask.
you. If you'd rather not take it, then I will simply have to cut her down.
And he'll do it. He don't care.
I wish there was a way to get like everybody that they love like safe.
To be fair, Hohenheim did warn Peanut Butter to flee the
sir?
country.
You don't have to worry about us.
He's like, you just mind your own business. Don't ask questions. Do your thing, and we won't bother you. Because everyone sitting at this table is a candidate for human sacrifice.
We won't bother you right now.
Yeah. Like, until we need you, basically. So just go
Which it doesn't feel
play in the mud.
That doesn't feel great.
No.
Because, like, it's kind of like, no, we're just, like, you know, just, like, doing your own thing, and then we'll eventually come and grab you and sacrifice you. But it's kind of like, that doesn't feel nice.
Yeah. And Ed is like, man, screw you.
Is that clear, Fullmetal Alchemist?
You chose that as my title. I only joined the military because I thought it might help us get our bodies back. But now I know what the State Alchemist program really is. You're using it as a way to recruit your sacrifices. Well, I'm not gonna let you use me to accomplish your sick goals.
Okay, then you're gonna...
I resign my title as a State Alchemist.
They're just gonna kill you, bitch.
The symbol of a dog, fittingly crusted with blood.
Your plans are gonna fail.
No,
I
but
swear on my
isn't
own
it
grave
Squirrel
that
thinks
I'm
that they
gonna
still need him
stop
alive?
you. I'll warn the other State Alchemists. I'll tell them.
And really, like, has this moment of, like, this realization, like, what a State Alchemist is. Like, a State Alchemist is not just, like, someone who gets special perks for knowing alchemy. It's really a recruitment program for candidates for human sacrifice. So, it's kind of in the way that, you know, how Bradley became Wrath is the idea of like, okay, we're going to have a bunch of guys who know alchemy who are showing the potentials of being able to open this gate, and we keep them close. We give them like money, we give them accommodations, we have them do our bidding, we build loyalty and trust between them.
Yeah.
And that's how they get to find people who are going to help accomplish their plan.
Yeah.
So, genius move, assholes. And so Ed is like, I see what you're doing here. He's like, I want no part of it. So he takes his pocket watch, he like kind of throws it on the table, and he's like, I'm done here. I don't want any part of that. Which is all good and well in theory. But here's the thing, Ed. They know you.
Yeah.
They don't just know you. They know the people that you love. And
like your Autumn repair people.
Yeah. I have like girls by the name of Winry who work in Rush Valley, and they will threaten to kill them if you do not cooperate. So Ed's hands are tied. And I think we kind of get this reveal as well. It's either here or somewhere else, but like, you know, the thing that they're holding over
everybody,
they're holding something over everyone. So the Winry is, you know, they got that against Ed and Al. Mustang, they have his team on him, and so they, you know. They're here to play the game.
I do kind of find it interesting about like how, because like I think like with like villains, especially like these kind of villains, like don't really have much humanity in them. That like they're like, you weaklings, like we just need to like threaten somebody you love and then we'll do what we say.
Yeah, Envy really plays with that because Envy is just like, oh my god, you silly little humans that you care about people. It's like we can just use that against you.
Yeah, but
and they do.
Yeah, but eventually it's gonna be a strength.
Yeah,
I assume.
Yes, definitely. Because love will keep us together. And so, but yeah, so they're holding Winry over them, and Ed just kind of like takes back the pocket watch and is like, I'm gonna go some here. Wrath asks Mustang,
And what do you have in mind?
Allegedly.
You wouldn't do something so petty as to quit the military.
Good question. I'm on a short leash here, but I still find that preferable to giving up. And I still have my ambitions. Your plans don't change that. So I'll hang on to this. And I'll retain my rank, too.
I would ask for a
Fine with
promotion.
me. We have nothing more to discuss.
I would have
I
leveraged
would like to
the
ask you
promotion.
one question, sir.
Would you now? Go ahead.
Are you the one who murdered General Hughes?
No.
No, that was not me.
Then who did?
Envy.
Colonel, I agreed to one question.
That's true, you fucked up there.
We'll be leaving now.
Bye.
Do you want to make a scene? And Mustang's like, no, I want your job, so like, I guess I'll hang around here. Pretty much much what he says. He's like, I got my ambitions. I got nothing better to do.
Also,
so I'm here.
Also, Mustang's an adult and can control his feelings.
Yes.
Unlike Ed.
Because Mustang, he's not happy about what's going on.
No, but he's kind of like, I need to.
But he's playing the long game. Also, he's very ambitious, and that's a strength and a weakness. So, anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of where we leave that. Wrath is like, okay, cool, you can go on your way, and then Al is like, hey.
But I have to ask, if we're going to continue to serve under your watch, will you please allow us to keep searching for a way to get our original bodies back? Please, sir.
I don't see why not.
He's so sweet.
As long as you don't interfere with our plans.
But can we still look for a way to get our bodies back? Is that cool? And Wrath's like, that sounds fine to me. It's like, as long as you don't interfere with our plans, if you want to keep looking for a way to get your bodies back, that's cool.
Also.
Yeah. Oh, and then, so as they get up to leave, Wrath is like, hold on 1 second.
Just one moment, Alphonse.
Is that all?
That's all. Now dismissed.
My heart!
That was too close!
Oh, hey, Colonel. Help us out. Have you got any change?
You want my money now?
Just give it. Jeez, is that all you got, really?
It's apparently more than you've got!
Sure, whatever. See ya.
True.
Bye!
Hey,
Sorry, Colonel. We'll explain everything later.
Where are we going?
what the hell's with them?
And then puts a sword directly through Al. Like, right in the middle.
Yeah, I'm just like, ah!
And you freaked out, because, as we know, there's a girl in there.
And a panda.
And a panda, and wouldn't be the first time that Wrath has stabbed Al because there was a girl in him. Last time he killed her. So, good news, though. Good news is that
They're fine.
May is very small, and she just basically like shoved herself down into the leg of Al to avoid it. But it's like this close. So Wrath is kind of like, interesting, and then just sends them on their way. So Mei Chang survives,
Right.
and so does Xiao Mei, so that's good. So that's good, and now they get to kind of go on their way. So Mustang and the Elrics split up, not before Ed borrows money from Mustang. This is somehow plot relevant that he borrows money from Mustang. It actually is. So then they use that to like go make a call to Winry. Before we see that, we see Mustang is like, oh shit, wait a minute, I left somebody waiting, because he's been here like this for, oh my god, for how long has he been there?
No, the lieutenant!
What? He left Hawkeye waiting.
Lieutenant!
Hi.
Is there something troubling you, Colonel? You seem slightly discomposed.
Well, just how do you expect me to appear? I had hoped a young woman would be standing there with a mustachioed muscle man.
Don't we all?
Lieutenant!
I was getting worried. Sorry. Lieutenant Hawkeye, reporting back to post from latrine break, sir. Major Armstrong happened to be passing by. He was nice enough to watch my post for me. Thanks for everything, Major. I appreciate it.
No trouble at all.
He was for a while. I mean, because he went there at like night, didn't he? And now it's the middle of the day.
Was it at night?
Yeah.
Oh.
He went there at night. Now it's the middle of the day. And so he's like, oh shit.
No, but didn't Hawkeye get her transfer papers during the day?
Yeah, but she's been there though since Mustang went to talk to.
But how long has it been since she got the transfer papers?
That probably closer, probably like.
So like we can say the stuff with Ed and now, and then the stuff with Mustang was like maybe semi-happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like 100%, but like close.
Right. So I think the timeline goes that they get there at like either night or early morning. I'm assuming night. I'm pretty sure it was a nighttime scene. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is where you can correct me.
Me.
Yeah.
If anything happens to me, then at least you'll have a chance of getting out alive.
No, sir.
That was an order.
One that I cannot obey.
You're a stubborn one.
That's something you've always known, sir.
All right. Will you stay here if I promise to come back?
Yes. Happy hunting.
Okay, but I love them.
And, well, I'm being transferred to the Southern Command Center.
They transferred you?
And I'm not the only one. Greta's being sent to the Western Command.
It's not his lady, it's his whole
Warrant
team.
Officer Fallman's been reassigned to the Northern Command.
Poor Fallman. So they go, he talks to Lieutenant General Raven. Raven takes him to the thing, and that's where he meets Bradley, gets talking to Bradley. While he's talking to Bradley, that's, or waiting to talk to Bradley, I don't know, however the timeline is. While they're having that conversation, that's when she gets her papers that they have been relocated, and then
everything else.
And then Wrath like goes on his like just starts talking, and he's like, "I'll tell you the story of how I was born." And he's like, "I didn't really ask you, but okay, thank you."
Now this is a story all about how
my life got turned upside down by a philosopher's stone. And so it's been a long time. She's been out here this entire time. So he goes out there, he's like, "Oh shit," and he doesn't see her there, and except it is Major Armstrong who's standing there, and we're like, okay, because we were literally just talking about Armstrong. We're like, "Where's Armstrong? Is he okay?" He's right here. So he was.
Because I forgot, because like
there.
for some reason it felt like he was like part of that team, but I realized that he wasn't. But like he's still like somebody we can trust.
Yeah, I think he works somewhat adjacent, but not fully under, in the same way that Hughes was not on Mustang's team.
And I thought he was. Okay.
No, they're close. They work close, but they're not on the same team.
I guess it makes sense. Also, like at one point, like when Armstrong and Hughes were like together, with the Work Brothers to like do some stuff. So
yeah, so because I think they they were close, but it's not under the same team. So the actual just team like Mustang and the people like his direct reports are like Hawkeye, Fallman, Breda, Fury, previously Gene Heather. So. Not anymore, because they've all been split up. So they got transferred to literally all corners of the country.
That's fine.
And so, yikes. So Hawkeye, Armstrong, and Mustang get to go have a conversation.
So you didn't run off.
Someone once told me to never give up no matter what. And once was all I needed.
Just don't ever tell me you'd wished you'd run when you'd
Never!
had a chance.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
It's too late for regrets.
Hello? Ed? Well, this is a surprise. You didn't break your automail again, did you?
What? No! I'm calling because... Is everything all right? Have you noticed anything weird? Like any suspicious people following you?
Well, Ed.
What is it?
You're creeping me out.
What's creepy?
It's just...
So much!
Well, it's actually pretty rare to get a call from you. And I've never heard
Oh
you
my
worry.
god!
This is weirder than a snowstorm during the summer.
Well, fine! Maybe I won't worry!
Thank you, Ed.
And
your
it's
ship
very,
levels did not go up in any way.
Oh, they just Hawkeye and Mustang have a conversation, and I'm not gonna talk about it anyway. So but the Elric brothers go to the phone booth. You know, the one that somebody was murdered at. It's fine. We see that one all the time.
That's like the only phone booth.
Why do you keep showing me this phone booth? People got murdered here. Now you remind me every single time. And they make a phone call to Winry, and and Ed is really worried, and it's just like, you know, are you good? Is anybody following you? Is anything there? And Winry's just like such in girl mode right now, because she's like, oh my god, you never call. Oh my god, you sound so weird.
Well, because the last time that we saw her, she was like, am I falling for Ed?
Yeah, and I think my girl's lost in the sauce now. I think she's.
I thought you would have gotten a little bit over because like, she's been busy.
Yeah, but now but when he calls, he's like, oh my god, girl.
I think part of this is maybe like a little bit nice saying like the only times I really see him was like when he comes to see me.
Yeah.
And is like, hey, I need you to fix my auto mail. So it's like kind of nice for like even like with anybody kind of be like, oh, call this. It was okay.
Yeah.
That's so dreamy.
He's like.
Really? Thank you.
Oh, honey.
It's a lot.
My girl's
Sure.
lost in the
You're
sauce.
certain everything's okay, right? Yeah. Okay, bye.
I love you too. Bye.
I think she's still safe for now.
You know, it's that kind of desperate work they're gonna manipulate you with.
What's happening?
No, it's greed. Still.
Yeah, no shit.
What do you want?
Your pal asked me to bring this to you.
Ling did? What does it say? It's in some other language.
Yeah, it is.
So
They
is he now
just
Jekyll,
want you to
Jekyll,
deliver
Hyde,
the
Jekyll, Hyde, Hyde,
sample.
Jekyll?
You shouldn't have. But like, she's also like, stop being a weirdo. And, you know, they are just basically able to be like, okay, cool, she's good. We don't gotta worry about that.
Right now.
Right now. And while they're in the phone booth, as soon as they hang up on the phone, Greed is there.
Hello.
Or Ling, depending on how you feel about it. And Greed is like, hey, here's a message for Lanfan, because the guy who's inside of me, like, popped out for a second and wrote this message, so, like, I guess I gotta give it to you. Keep him happy. And then he kind of goes on his way. So they're still calling him Ling, and he's like, I'm not Ling, I'm Greed. And the message is written in Jingese, so they can't read it, so they have to just go give it to Lanfan. Before we get to see what happens there, I'm going really detailed into this plot, but I feel like so much is happening. I feel like I have to talk about it. We get to see what Scar's doing. So Scar is still in the sewers. Scar, wait, what are we gonna do with you?
Who is that godless monster? What cause would bring him to initiate a civil war and ravage an entire country?
Of so many questions.
Is someone there?
Oh shit.
Hello?
Who is that? Did you come from outside? I can help you if you're injured. Why don't you come down here? Is everything all right outside?
Well,
mucking about, and he hears somebody, and he uncovers the prison cell of Dr. Marco. And he's like, and Scar is injured still, and Marco's like, hey, I don't know who you are, but if you want to come down here, I'll help you out. And he's like, oh, I got nothing to lose here. So he drops down.
I did nothing in the war.
So you're in Ishvalan. Was your head wounded in the... You're not the one known as Scar, are you? Tell me who you are first, and what are you doing down here?
I'm just a guy.
My God! This must be fate. I'm the alchemist responsible for the extermination of your people.
Why would you tell him that?
My man's here to repent. And, you know, he's like, oh my God, and if Shvalin, and then he's like, oh my God, you're that guy. And he's like, oh my God, this is fate. This is fate. He kind of starts laughing. He's a bit hysterical about this.
Like me.
And because he's like, oh my God, I'm the one responsible for the genocide. It was me. And he like fully admits to this. He's not like, hey, I played a role in the extermination of your people. He was like, oh, that was me. I did that. That was me.
You fucking moron.
I mean, but no, I think he really sees this. Like, this is his penitence. Like, I think Marco genuinely is in this moment. He's like, oh, everything lined up to be in this moment. I think because, I mean, this is kind of basis for Marco's character, a lot of what we see. Too, like, we know he was in the war and he did terrible things, and he took the knowledge and the means that he gained from that and then turned around to start helping people. So we know that he has like this deep-seated, like, either it's guilt or meanings to help, but like we're starting to see more and more it's guilt. And so now he's like, okay, now I'm here and can't help my people. He's like, he basically is like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be right now, is at the hands of Nishvalan, coming to get their revenge.
Yeah.
So we don't see what happens with that, but it's going to be interesting. So I really want to know what's going on there, but not today.
So hey, Longpaw.
We got Longpaw. Hey. Boy, do we have news for you.
You shouldn't be out of bed.
The young lord, isn't he with you?
About that.
He's not, but he's still alive. I've got a message from him. Lanfan?
It says he found a philosopher's stone. The young lord has saved our clan.
Did he?
Oh.
And now we have to return to our country.
Do
We've
you?
gotta get the news to our people. Where is he? Will you take me to him?
About that, honey.
What's wrong? Why are you being so quiet? Has something happened to the young lord?
Yeah.
Please talk to me, Alphonse. Where is the prince?
Girl, you gotta dial back a little. So, meanwhile, we see, and now they go back to Dr. Knox's place, because Lanfan was there previously getting healed up, and they bring Mei Chang over there, and Dr. Knox is like, stop bringing me girls. He's like, I don't have a place to sleep now. And she just has a concussion, so, like, she's able to get fixed up, and she's on the mend then. And, of course, they're also able to deliver that message to Lanfan. And that message says, I found the Philosopher's Stone. So she's excited. She's like, woohoo! Hell yeah, we did it. Awesome. Love that. Let's go home now. And she's like, quick question. Where's the prince?
And I was like, about that.
Just quick question. He was supposed to be here. You were with him last. Is he good? What's
about
happening?
That?
And so then Al has to be like, hey.
So it's more like he didn't, like, physically get a Philosopher's Stone. It's more like he absorbed it.
He is a Philosopher's Stone now, and he's also not himself.
Also homunculus.
Yeah.
And another, so basically, like, a homunculus soul has taken over his body.
Yeah, ain't that something? Anyway, have a good life. So we see a little, before we get to more about that, we have this conversation between Greed and Wrath.
So what do you think of that body, Greed? Decent enough?
So you must be Wrath. Yeah, the body's great. Listen to this. It's royalty. The kid was a prince of Shing. The funny thing is, he let me take control. He thought I could make him emperor or something. What an ambitious little brat.
I spoke to him once about politics. His naive theories on leadership were amusing. He said a king's duty is to his people, as if the people actually mattered when ruling a country. The fool.
Ain't that funny?
To the people as he got
So silly.
now. Typical human.
Shut the hell up! Don't underestimate humans.
I know. He's patient. Just waiting for any chance he can get.
They are meeting for the first time, obviously, because they're meeting for the first time. Greed's new here. And they have a conversation, and, you know, because Wrath has encountered Ling before, so he knows them.
And it's like, yeah, that idiot Ling, he was all like, a king should make sure he takes care of his people.
Ain't that so silly? That's so silly. Oh my god, what a moron. They're both kind of laughing about what, like, Ling being a moron. And then Ling comes through for a split second and be like, yo, shut up. And then goes back. So, Greed is not fully in control.
It's interesting. I think
it's interesting, yeah.
I do kind of, yeah, I guess it's like a thing of, like, if you, like, put a Philosopher's Stone in somebody and they let you take over, which makes me think that, like then, like, can they get out in a way? But then it's also, like, but, like, Wrath that doesn't happen with Wrath, but then it's, like, it kind of makes me think that he's, like, he just doesn't care. And, like, the way he grew up is, like, different, and, like...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, like, Wrath was raised to be, like, the perfect vessel. Like, he was raised to be nothing but accepting of the things that were in. So he doesn't really, like... His goals were already in line with the things that he was accepting, and he doesn't know, like, how much of himself is remaining, so he just kind of goes with it. Meanwhile, Ling is like, I have wants, I have needs, I have goals, so I'm doing this, which works very well with Greed. Like, it's very in line with who Greed, as we know previously, is, as someone he's like, he's got money, he wants women, he wants sex, he wants power. Bring it to me. And not super off base with what Ling wants, but Ling still retains his very.
There's a part of Ling that is actually a good person.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ling feels very strongly, especially about his people, his country, and his goals. So so it's like they work well, but not all the way.
Yeah,
which makes her a very fun dynamic character. I really like Ling and, like, Greed's incarnation, or Ling's incarnation of Greed, however we want to say it. It gets a nickname later. So I really like Ling's a character that I really like. It's like including, like, Greed Ling. But it's a character that I think is a really interesting character. So I was very excited when we saw that coming. I was like, oh, I'm excited. Also, when we're watching the opening, they have that shot with all of the sins. Remember, I was like, don't pay close attention. You're like, what? Because, like, Greed is there. I was like, don't look, because I knew you were gonna be like, what's he doing there? I was like, no reason. But now we can watch that scene because they're already there. I have to look at that shot because I'm gonna figure out if there's hints of pride there or not. I would be surprised, I think. I gotta look. Well, no, I can't look because I don't want to give anything away.
You can look when you get home.
I could. Now we're kind of going to go back. At this conversation, we're catching up with Hawkeye and Armstrong.
Vera Bradley is a homunculus? It can't be.
No, it is.
The only thing I've ever wanted to do was protect my fellow countrymen.
I'm happy he's involved.
Yeah.
So many soldiers have put their trust in the military.
Also, is all alchemy gone from everybody, or just Ed and Al?
It's just a
You could
temporary thing.
resign, Major.
Okay, that's fine.
With your disposition, I'm afraid you'll suffer otherwise.
How can we fight a war like this? It's wrong!
Oh, where's the stash?
Disobeying an order!
Mustang's being like, yo, you want to hear something? I got some crazy news for you. And so Armstrong is hearing all of this for the first time. I think Hawkeye knows some of it. But now they kind of have the details. And Armstrong is just like gobsmacked about the whole thing. He's like, what? But it's really cool that we're bringing Armstrong into this.
Yay!
He knows. And then we also get this really interesting character moment about Armstrong where we get some flashbacks. And
where he didn't have a stash.
Where he did not have a mustache, correct.
You're dismissed! Call Central for a replacement alchemist!
Aww.
I collapsed in Ishval. I couldn't bring myself to stay and fight.
He's a good
the
man.
military's methods were ghastly. I could see their malignance.
Baby.
Still, I chose to turn away and run when I should have fought to protest their actions. That decision, it's haunted me every day since then. It makes me sick that I abandoned my beliefs. And now that I face the military again, I have to fight. I couldn't live with myself if I ran away now.
Poor Armstrong.
Yay.
During the Ishvalan War, because we're getting like a brief, which I'm assuming is going to be expanded upon later, but a little bit more about Armstrong in the war. He was pretty opposed to it. We see him, he's basically like crying over the body of an Ishvalan child. Like, he is not strong. Like, he wasn't on board with it. But he didn't necessarily oppose it. He wasn't outwardly like, no, this is bad. But he wasn't really all in either, which we can see there's like in the flashback an officer is like, yo, you're getting transferred, get out of here, I want another alchemist here. So, Armstrong kind of has a history there because, he feels guilt that he didn't outwardly oppose the terrible things that the military was doing previously, and now this is his opportunity to be like, oh, I'm taking a stand against this now. So I love that. This is like, I've talked before how I really like Armstrong. Like, this one of the key things that I really like about him is this part of his character. As someone who, like, he's a big guy, but he has a very soft heart.
Yeah,
and
he's a teddy bear.
He is, and something about him, and him being like, okay, I didn't make a stand before, now I get to do that now, and him understanding that the things that happened were wrong from the get-go.
Hooray!
So, I wonder, I'm trying to remember if we're going to re-expand on that later when we get to some of those flashbacks, but just want to shout that out now. Meanwhile, Mustang was out committing war crimes, so, like, not a good look, buddy.
He didn't know.
He was still killing people.
I know, it's definitely not a
He was still killing people.
So was Hughes.
Yeah.
But he's dead.
Yeah, Mustang killed more people, though.
Didn't Hawkeye also kill him?
Yeah.
I technically, like...
Your fave is problematic. Committed war crimes.
who didn't commit war crimes?
I'm laughing, but I'm also crying.
You know who didn't? Ed.
So true.
And Al.
Good job, kids. You did it. You didn't commit war crimes.
Today.
And so, Mustang has this moment where he's talking to himself.
How do you plan on handling all of this, Colonel?
The Fuhrer asked me that. I told him I wasn't going to quit or give up my ambitions. The Fuhrer seemed like he was downright eager to reveal his true nature as a homunculus to me. It appears he wants me to know there's someone even more powerful giving him orders. Seems they're testing me. I have to admit, I'm honored.
You seem surprisingly calm.
I don't know. It's just, well, it's similar to how I felt during the battle with Lust. I've been called a human weapon and a monster. Maybe I deserve it, but I can tell you this much. I never feel more human than when I'm fighting real monsters.
Fair?
I see.
He feels like he's being tested. But he's not concerned really at the moment, even though he knows he's being watched and he knows that like things can go wrong at a moment's notice. And
So they really can like still have like conversations, but they just need to be like super, super careful.
Yeah, and then so Mustang knows that he has done some terrible things, and he, he's committed atrocities in and of his own right, but he feels the most human when he's fighting actual monsters, like Lust or the other homunculi. So, like,
and not the Ishvalans.
Yeah. So like, I'm not sure that's like a win for you, buddy. That's like bare minimum. But like, I'm glad you can regain some sense of your humanity.
You know what? A little bit like baby steps for
baby steps. Redeem the war criminals. That's really not a great look for this show.
I kind of, because like my thing is just kind of like how, what did they know about the Ishvals? Like that they believe that these are like truly monstrous people.
I think they're just following orders, which is not an excuse, but
I guess I wonder like how long, like how it's like however long like the Fear's like been in charge of, like, is this like how they grew up?
I don't know. I'm sure. I think we might get some insight on this not too long from now. Obviously not today, but
okay.
So once we're done with them, we kind of go back to Dr. Nox's place, and we have this like very funny exchange between Lanfan and May. Before that happens, Lanfan is like, "Yo, okay." She got the rundown. She's like, really my fault. I should have been there. And we're like, girl, you did your best. You cut off your own arm. Like, it's also like very sweet if you think about it, because like,
that she cut off her arm.
Romantic, honestly. No, but like Ling and
well,
Lanfan,
we got a couple of sympathizers. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, continue.
Like Ling and Lanfan, like a lot of their motivations they're motivated by each other very much, because because Ling, in one of his flashbacks, we saw this in the clip show too, he's like, this is all my fault, because if I was stronger, if I could have made decisions the way Lanfan made decisions, like, she wouldn't be in this mess. So he takes responsibility for her, and she takes responsibility, for him, because he's like, that's, this is the person I serve. Like, if I was better, if I was here, like, this wouldn't have happened. So they're both like really motivated by helping each other. And Lanfan is like very obviously like Ling's weak spot. It's like so easy. It's just like you just bring up Lanfan, and he's like, so like, dude, like get a better cover. Like,
but that's true for all of them.
Yeah, that's so true. Everyone's got a weak spot. And usually it's a pretty lady, which, like, fair. But it's very funny. So while we're kind of having this conversation, Meg Chang comes up and she's like,
I don't think you should be up yet. It's Mei Chang, right?
Aww.
May?
This is fine.
The girl's got history.
You're a watchdog for the Yao clan.
I know you too. You're the Chang heiress.
Very good. I'm the 17th daughter, Princess Mei Chang.
I also know why you're in this country. To obtain immortality.
Too bad you won't live to see me get it.
Damn, she's throwing her life.
You won't even leave this room, princess.
Hey, just hold on a minute. I don't know what this is about, but you can't fight like this.
Quit trying to interfere with the affairs of our country.
Fair.
My wounds are going to slow me
They
down.
said check your privilege.
Is that so? Well, neither will mine.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
I don't know if she
supposed to
hit
be
them.
resting in bed.
A cuss person.
Interfere with the affairs of
I don't care about the affairs of your country, dumbass!
I really like him.
It doesn't
There's
matter
too many
where you're
idiots in
from,
this
you're
house.
both my patients.
We also kind of get something that might come up later that Lanfan is like, I want automail.
Oh yes, she's like, I want automail, and I was like, cool, great. Take a nap. I'll find someone for you. Like, I know a guy. I know a girl. We'll get to it later. Like, can you just like literally chill for 3 seconds?
But then fight.
But then a fight ensues because Mei Chang just like throws like a dagger at her. Because they are from, I guess, feuding families.
That's fine.
Yeah. Which, like, guys, like, calm down. You're in a foreign country right now. And so Al
You're both injured.
Al tries to stop them, right? He's like, you're both injured, stop this. And they're like, no meddling in foreign affairs, you. Like, these are affairs of our country. Like, stay
And then I love how, like, the doctor comes in and, like, basically says the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're about to say, like, the same thing also. And then she's like, shut up.
Yeah, he comes in with conviction. He's like, absolutely not. Shut the hell up. Go to bed. So I really like Dr. Knox because he has no patience for any of this.
They're taking over his house.
They are. And Dr. Knox makes a comment too. He's like, oh, but if you fight, there might be some like spores in the floorboards that could kill you, like toxic spores, because we also see in the next scene that Dr. Knox is a bit of a bachelor because I believe his
You're not planning on making an even larger mess around here, are you? Huh? Because if you do, you might release an unknown pathogen from the floorboards and kill everyone in the house.
That's fine.
How could it get messier in here? I wonder how long it's been since he bothered cleaning. Huh? I found this on the floor.
Huh?
Aww.
So that's where it's been all this time.
Hey! You can't throw away a family picture!
I don't speak to my wife and son. What's the big deal? And who are you to decide what I do with my own stuff? Why don't you go get some coffee or something?
I know, Mom. She's dead now.
Yeah, right. He's divorced from his wife. He does not talk to his son. And his place is a mess.
It's kind of like Shao Tucker and Nina, but like Shao had a daughter that he needed to take care of that he definitely didn't take care of.
Yeah, so Dr. Knox, I think that, he seems like kind of like the, the shell-shocked kind of veteran where he's like, his life kind of fell apart after he came back.
Yeah.
Which is not an uncommon story. So, that we're kind of getting some small insights into them, but Al is helping him kind of clean up the place. And Al does find a picture of his, wife and kid, but, he kind of rejects it and is like, I haven't talked to them in a while, it's whatever. Yeah, it's so little insights about him as well. So I really like, even with the really small characters, we get to know them and get to humanize them in a way. It's fun. And let's see. Meanwhile, Ed is
fixing a thing.
Oh wait, did we miss another post-credit scene? I swear to God. Are you fucking kidding me? We did. Hold on. Before we get there, it's fine, guys. It's fine. Before we get there, Ed is fixing, just walking around town doing some alchemy things.
He finds out that his alchemy has come back. Well.
Oh my God.
I'm able to use my alchemy again.
Hooray!
It was terrible taste and things.
Hey, very nicely done up there. That takes care of all of our repairs for the day.
Yeah, you can always rely on a state alchemist. These other alchemists around here just can't compare. You should have seen those guys. We had a couple of local alchemists helping us with repairs this morning.
Hello?
All they really ended up doing was looking foolish, though.
They came strolling in here like they were the very best, and the next thing you know, their alchemy wouldn't work.
He said this morning. That was when we were underground.
Mr. Alchemist! Thanks again!
You're welcome!
So he's realized his alchemy has come back. Some of the MPs note that we had these guys around earlier and they could their alchemy didn't even work. Isn't that stupid? So Ed's realizing, okay, so this is very widespread, that when the alchemy was turned off, he's like, it's really weird. Ain't that
and
some
it was
stuff?
temporary.
Yeah, and that was temporary.
I know Envy told me they're just mindless energy, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me.
That's
Which
fair.
means I'm not fully convinced. Snap out of it. I've got bigger things to be concerned with. The alchemy. If those guys were right, then we weren't the only ones who couldn't transmute this morning. If so, how come Scar and that little girl were able to use theirs?
They weren't using alchemy.
What does that mean? Could their alchemy be different from ours?
I thought we knew this.
That makes sense.
Oh, we didn't know this?
I'm gonna have to make them teach it to me
I
somehow.
think we knew it.
Maybe
They
I
don't
can use
understand.
it to
But
get
Scar,
Al's
but they
body
knew
back.
Scar was different.
Take down that bearded bastard.
Well, I'll talk about it. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got to get this to the lieutenant.
He's kind of musing to himself, kind of talking about things, and then he finds the gun in his pocket that Hawkeye gave him. That's covered in blood now, and he's like, gotta go this back. So that's kind of where Ed is headed at the end of the episode.
But he also kind of has a thing of he was wondering with Mei Chang and Scar how come theirs wasn't turned off, and trying to figure that out, which makes me think that are we gonna is the season kind of gonna be let's learn about alchemy?
That would be fun, a fun little extra skill.
Well, think about it. If he learns that, then they've got.
He's good. That's true. That's a really good point.
Yeah, and Ed's good at learning.
He is actually good at learning.
But just remember, sweetie, you need to sleep and you need to eat and you need to drink your milk.
Yes.
Not to grow, but just to protect
fuel your brother's body.
Yeah,
your emaciated brother. So
he probably also needs to get his hair cut, not because it's long, probably because it's natted.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, is this the body like brushing through that. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? But yeah, Al's body needs some help, guys. So apparently there's a closing scene. I did not.
Back to the
so let's go.
They forced me to follow through with their plans. I made a stone for them, and I used the lives of countless Ishvalans to do it.
Ew.
And now, they're forcing me to cooperate on an experiment that's likely to result in another genocide. I beg you, please stop it. You have to kill me, please. Please take my life. My own death is the only form of revenge that I have. Your appearance here, right now, you're like a god to me. Tell me everything about Ishval. I want to hear the entire story. What did you use my people for? You'll tell me all of it. Give me the truth before my right hand destroys you.
To be fair, that's kind of what he wants. Yeah. So the closing scene is
little baby.
Yeah, is father births a little baby gluttony. He's like, oh my god.
So that's also like what I was gonna use. So like gluttony was born differently then. I guess also greed then.
Yeah, in this case, yeah.
I love his like, hi.
He's like, oh hello. Gluttony's interesting. And then Marco kind of explains to Scar. He's like, oh my god, they made me do it. And now they want me to do stuff like that again. Hey, kill me, and then we'll both have revenge on them. Wonderful. Because, you know, in his brain, there's no way out, because if he doesn't cooperate, then they kill people that he loves. Or he cooperates and kills everyone, so he's like, cool, kill me, we'll be done. And Scar's like, nah, you're gonna tell me what's going on. So
Or maybe you can really think, tell me what happened, and then I'll kill you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a really interesting ending scene there. Nara, what do you think about this episode?
It was interesting. So, like, it wasn't like a full cliffhanger, but, like, I feel like this kind of I know, like, this wasn't, like, the season 3 premiere, but it kind of felt like it.
Okay.
Because it kind of felt like, I mean, the first episode was, like, here's, like, a recap.
Yeah.
The second episode was, like, let's, like, get to, like, here's, like, the kind of reveal that, like, maybe, like, we're gonna, like, get, like, say, like, here's the reveal stuff, and then this one's kind of like, okay, here's where we are now. We gotta, like, work around the fact that the homunculi know everything that we know.
They do.
They are want to kill us eventually, so, like, we need to, like, secretly find a way to defeat them.
Yeah. It's fun. It's always fun to have an all-knowing enemy, because that's rough. That's difficult.
I think it'll be fine in the long run.
Never mind.
I'm not saying now is gonna be fine.
No.
I'm saying by episode 60, whatever, it'll be fine.
Yeah, so we are setting with Ed going to see Hawkeye, and then with Marco and Scott, we're setting up that our flashbacks are going to be relating to the war. It's going to be Dara, I hope you're ready whenever we record it, because it's gonna be rough. We're gonna talk about war.
Listen, I mean, are there gonna be just like a lot of dead kids around? Yeah. I assumed.
Anyway, so that's that episode. We did get a lot of information. So yeah, now everyone's on board with the fears of homunculus. We know he's wrath. Ling's still in there. Lanfan, hopefully, go get another arm girl and
make some friends.
Yeah, and maybe we'll be friends with Mei Chang now. That'd be cool.
I don't think they're any friends yet.
I mean, not her and Lanfan, but like with the Elrics maybe.
Well, they took care of Shanae.
Yeah, exactly. So that's got to count
for
something.
Alton specifically. Also, like they saved you from death.
So true. So like let's be cool about it. So there's so many. Oh, it's so much fun. God, I'm looking at the title for the next episode. Anyway, it's fun. Would you like some episode notes?
Yes, please.
All right. The episode is adapted from content in chapter 56, chapter 57, and chapter 60 in the manga. The transmutation circles that appear in the background of this episode's title card are the human transmutation circle used by the Elric brothers and the flame alchemy circle used by Roy Mustang. This person who wrote this, shout out Wiki Writers, wrote, "It is ironic to note that up until this point in the series, Scar has considered himself an agent of God. and those around him found the idea offensive. But when Marco tells God that he sees the Scar's arrival as an act of God, it's Scar who finds the idea offensive. So it's interesting.
It's like rain.
Yeah, I'm sure we could have it's
on your wedding day.
It's free ride.
I'm pretty sure that's not ironic.
That's the whole song is actually not ironic. The whole song is just but a series of weird coincidences. It has nothing to do with irony. Anyway, but so yes. So we're setting up to talk about war, genocide.
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. But it's fun. I also like in this comment about God. I think like concepts in the show about like God, religion, and things like that, God, religion, truth, are really interesting. I'm sure that'll make an interesting conversation. Like once we finish the series and kind of reflect on it. But it's a cool and good show, and I love it very much. Anyway, that's all I got. Any other thoughts, Dara?
No.
Cool. I was gonna say it's time for a comment corner, but like here's the thing, y'all.
We're out of comments.
Guys, we're out of comments. I feel sad and depressed. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I'm so sad. But please leave us comments. We would love to read them.
Where can they leave the comments?
You can go to YouTube to leave the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, hi, how's it going? Would appreciate a like. Would really appreciate a subscribe so you know when we're posting these videos.
Also, we probably appreciate a dislike because like algorithm and like engagement.
So like you can leave a mean comment if you want to. Actually, I mean, like don't be a jerk, but like if you want to leave something silly, that'd be funny. We read the comments on the show, so be sure to do that. You can also follow us on a variety of other social media. You can get our audio only podcast over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and probably something else that I'm forgetting. Oh yeah. All those good ones. We are Witty Clothes on there, so please look for us. Give us a follow. Like our stuff, maybe. You don't really have to, but just like give us a follow. It'd be really cool. We are also on Patreon. Dara, what's on Patreon?
We got monthly live streams. We hang out, watch a movie, whatever. We have our spin-off show, First Reaction or Fan Reaction, where we talk about a show that we both have seen or neither of us have seen. We're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. Woo! Fun times, and we'll let you know when there's more content. And also, you get these episodes a week early.
Yeah, it's really fun. So
at the $5 level, you get these episodes a week early.
Yeah, so if you like can't wait, if you're like, oh my god, I need to see what happens next. Real quick, good news. If you are only watching YouTube, it's probably already on Patreon. So like, win-win. So, but stay tuned because we're going to keep on watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, even though it does emotionally hurt me sometimes. We're going to be talking about episode 30, The Ishvalan War of Extermination.
That sounds upsetting.
Yeah, and episode 31, The 520 Cents Promise. So
520 what?
Cents. It's like the local currency in this show.
Also upsetting?
No, it's actually it's not a bad thing.
Okay, but the next one's going to be upsetting.
Oh, it's going to be so deeply upsetting. So
or maybe there just won't be any deaths in the Ishvalan people. Never mind.
Until next time, I'm King Clothier.
I'm Dara Whitman.
Peace.
Okay. I feel like shit's gonna go down. There's gonna be some prep, but like shit's gonna go down.
Yeah, first we're gonna get some. Next couple episodes are flashback episodes. And
what?
Yeah, and they will emotionally destroy you.
Okay.
Probably.
But not today.